From censored files to clear evidence, this is Redacted Realms.
The world is actually being manipulated by a massive force behind the scenes, the secret society Illuminati and the mysteries behind it. Humans, from the primitive era when we didn't know things like language or writing, created symbols to represent something. There are symbols representing strength, power, and mystery. Like the inverted pentagram symbol, representing the dark force of Satan, the skull and crossbones, representing pirates. There are symbols representing healthcare, like the snake coiled around a staff. And this symbol of an eye surrounded by a pyramid is very familiar, isn't it? We've seen it many times, even on the $1 bill, which also features this symbol. Observing music videos, famous singers like Lady Gaga, Michael Jackson, Katy Perry have also been spotted with it numerous times. Even politicians have been linked to this symbol. This makes us wonder, is the world we live in really run by the governments and public organizations we trust? Or is there a massive and mysterious force behind it, controlling everything? Let's explore with D2T. Look deeply into this eye. Surely the symbol we mentioned from the start. Most of us already know which organization it represents. A symbol exuding power, one that seems to see through people's hearts when looked at. This eye symbol is called the all-seeing eye, associated not only with the Illuminati and the three-pointed society but also with humanity since ancient times, all over the world. Wherever it appears, it carries a specific meaning. So, where does the all-seeing eye originate, and why has it become such an attractive symbol? No one knows for sure who first created the all-seeing eye symbol, but its creators certainly drew inspiration from religious motifs of the distant past. The triangle is an ancient symbol of the Holy Trinity, consisting of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The rays of light often drawn around the all-seeing eye are also an ancient sign, symbolizing the halo of God in Christian art. However, looking further back in history, this eye symbol was also used as early as the 3rd century BC. The Sumerians carved wide-open eyes to express their sacredness. But it was during the time of the ancient Egyptians that this single eye motif truly flourished. This is essentially a combination of a human eye and a hawk's eye, with thick eyebrows and the characteristic cheek feather markings of the species. In modern times, the all-seeing eye has also appeared in places of power around the world. Specifically, during the post-democratic revolution in France, the all-seeing eye was seen as a symbol of despotism, meant to monitor the young nation moving towards equality, fraternity just established, as it was painted right at the top. Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. In England in 1794, a new prison broke through in a method of continuous surveillance of cells. The image of the all-seeing eye also became a symbol for the constant, unrelenting watch of the fair justice system. That is the origin of the all-seeing eye symbol, and it's not hard to understand why the secret society Illuminati used this symbol as their mark. The triangle represents balance, strength at the top of the pyramid, and the eternal powerful eye. Appearing a long time ago, nearly 300 years earlier, Illuminati is a secret society holding in their hands many devices. Unimaginable tools capable of shaking the world. As mentioned at the beginning, there are many artists as well as world leaders believed to be related or connected to the Illuminati, but no one denies it. So why does this association influence the world so much? To find the answer, we need to go back in time to explore the origins of this secret society. Founded in Germany just 2 months before the 13 British colonies in North America declared independence, this organization is known as Illuminati Norden, the Illuminati, with noble goals. Through the most subtle and safe methods, aiming for the victory of virtue and wisdom over hatred and ignorance. A society that will create the most important innovations in all fields of science, will guide members to become noble and great, will ensure them certain rewards when they perfect themselves in this world, will protect them from persecution, karma, and oppression, and will cut off the heads of tyrannical regimes in all forms. In short, it desires to enlighten Europeans. The Illuminati members were very few, only a few founding members, mostly students. The total membership of the society was only 25. 2 years later, and until the end of December 1779, the society had only 60 members. However, a few years later, the number of members increased exponentially to 1,300 members. By the early 1780s, the Illuminati network expanded across Germany and gained very high-quality new members, including Duke of Brunswick-Lüneburg Charles William Ferdinand, Landgrave of Hesse-Kassel Ernest II, along with dozens of nobles and rising stars. After the Illuminati was banned in Germany in 1783, its members built branches all over Europe. Despite many centuries, the core families still serve as pillars of the society, known as the Council of 13. The only Asian family you can see in that council is the Li family, one of the most common surnames in China, accounting for 7.9% of the population. However, through many recent events, we are compelled to believe that China is playing a certain role in establishing a world order. Through acquisitions, capital injections, and loans, many countries have become debtors, not only in Southeast Asia but also including the United States. Most prominent at the top of this list is the Rothschild family, which holds the most dominant power on Earth. Their wealth is also estimated to be in the hundreds of thousands of US dollars as they exercise their power through a sprawling banking empire. Specifically, they currently control up to 165 central banks worldwide. From Offanista to Zimbabwe and considered a banking empire. Notably on the list are also the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, including 3 powerful financial corporations, the City of London, Washington, D.C., and Vatican, all under the control of the Rothschild family. The City of London is known as the corporation controlling the global financial system and the governments of Commonwealth countries, as well as non-Commonwealth Western countries like Greece, once seemingly the United Kingdom. But in fact, in 1812, the City of London Corporation came under the ownership of Nathan Rothschild, the 5th son of Meyer and Trell Rothschild, right after he manipulated the stock market and seized control of the Bank of England. The second financial corporation is the Washington, D.C. Financial Corporation. Although just a 26 square kilometers area, Washington, D.C. actually has its own flag, its own constitution, and is not subject to or influenced by the U.S. Constitution. In 1913, the Federal Reserve was no longer owned by the United States and the American people, but rather a private bank owned by the Rothschild family, because the U.S. Congress allowed the Federal Reserve to hand over all gold, silver, and full authority over the U.S. economy to the Rothschild family masters. And the third financial corporation is the Vatican. It is believed that most of the Vatican's assets come from business cooperation with the Rothschild family in the UK, France, the U.S., and weapons financial corporations. Billions of USD from the Vatican are held in banks owned by the Rothschild family, including the Bank of England and the U.S. Federal Reserve. The assets the Vatican possesses are greater than any bank, corporation, and even other governments. U.S. President Andrew Jackson expressed contempt for international banks with strong statements such as, "They are a den of vipers, I will defeat them. And by the eternal God, I will defeat them." If one understands the excessive injustice of that money source and banking system, it must be brought into the light. On January 30th, 1835, the day after this defiant statement, the first assassination attempt on a U.S. president occurred. Richard Lawrence, standing just 2 meters from President Jackson, fired 2 shots but did not kill him. Lawrence was subsequently subdued by a naval officer. Although the assassination was unsuccessful, this event marked the beginning of plots to harm the White House itself in the following decades. President Lincoln and President JFK were both assassinated for trying to free the U.S. from the control of the Rothschild banking empire. Not only manipulating the financial and ruling circles, this association has truly become the cradle nurturing humanity's wars. The Rothschild family is believed to have financed most major wars over the past 200 years. Many records indicate that World War I originated when European countries were drawn into the revenge for the assassination of Austro-Hungarian heir Franz Ferdinand. However, in reality, the purpose of this war was to pave the way for the Russian Proletarian Revolution in 1918. Funded and staged by Jakub Schiff, head of the New York-based investment firm Kuhn, Loeb and Company, and associates through the Illuminati financial firm wanting to overthrow the aristocracy. This was also the Rothschild family's revenge against Tsar Alexander I for obstructing their initial steps in controlling the world at the Congress of Vienna in 1815. Yakov Schiff is believed to have done everything under the direction of this organization. He was one of the supporters of passing the law, keeping the Federal Reserve, which was part of turning Russia into a fortress of atheistic totalitarian communism. Asked war loans so that Japan could attack the Tsar. Thousands of Russian sailors were captured as prisoners at the same time, an underground force propagated Marxism in the POW camps and spread anti-Tsarist ideology, causing the prisoners who returned home after the war ended to become factors in creating mutinies in the army, helping the Russian communists seize power in Russia. The true fate of humanity is something ordinary people cannot perceive and would not be able to digest as suddenly learned. Our revolution is a final stage in evolution and will end by erasing history. Even my comrades did not perceive the dreams that haunted our minds or the matters of immense complexity that will at least be realized before I die. The world has reached a turning point and will undergo a upheaval that ordinary people will not be able to comprehend. This thought of Hitler is considered similar to the goal of the Illuminati in wanting to create wars to establish a new world order. Not only that, hypotheses have been put forward such as it being no coincidence that Hitler's Rothschild bloodline was hidden. There is a consistent fact in the Council of 13 that important children will be hidden or quietly adopted by other families. This also gives us an idea that the Hitler regime was not actually that simple. Perhaps he was part of the Illuminati organization or possibly of Rothschild descent. Although it is unknown whether these hypotheses are true, one thing is certain. Hitler and the Nazis were established and funded by the Rothschild family. They were the ones who arranged for Adolf Hitler to come to power through the secret Illuminati social organizations in Germany. The Rothschild family itself, through the Bank of England and other sources such as Kuhn, Loeb and Company, funded Hitler's war. This bank also funded the proletariat in the Russian Revolution, contributing to turning the country into an atheist communist nation. The core of Hitler's war machine was the giant chemical conglomerate IG Farben. From 1933 to 1944, this conglomerate contributed over 81 million Reichsmarks to Hitler's war. Paul Warburg, the banker of Kuhn, Loeb and Company, was also named on the board of directors of Hitler's chemical conglomerate IG Farben. When the Allied forces advanced into Germany, they discovered that the IG Farben chemical plant and cross factories were almost unbombed, while other factories around were nearly all destroyed. Additionally, General Motors and Ford were also responsible for supplying over 90% of the mechanized vehicles for Nazi Germany. This reinforces the hypothesis that the Illuminati secret society manipulated events to cause World War, as all three of these conglomerates were under the control of the Rothschild family. From this, it can be seen that the world truly holds many things beyond our imagination. After watching up to this point, what are your thoughts on the Illuminati? Are there other events that this force has been involved in that we do not yet know about? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below to let B2T know. Thank you for watching, goodbye and see you again. Don't forget to subscribe to the Gian Migo channel so you don't.
If this file opened your eyes, subscribe and open the next case.